The bullet wasn't meant for her. Keisha was just trying to get her tip when she got shot outside a Korean nightclub. The man whose life she accidentally saved. A crime lord who now says she's marked for death. Enemy syndicates think she's his woman. So he's keeping her hidden in his fortress until he can finish this blood feud. But what happens when the real war breaks out in both their hearts? He promises to shield, cherish, and set the world on fire for her. Before we dive in, beautiful people, please remember to hit that like button and subscribe. It's the best way you can support us as we continue delivering captivating stories that'll keep you hooked every single day. Keisha Thompson was 30 minutes past exhausted, and her night shift wasn't even close to done. Her Honda had been totaled 2 months ago in a hit and run. Her mother needed medication she couldn't afford. Her credit cards were maxed out. And now some bougie Korean nightclub in Century City was disputing a charge, claiming she'd overcharged them for a catering delivery worth almost $300. Listen, I dropped everything off exactly like the invoice stated, Keisha insisted into her phone, standing outside Eclipse, an ultra-exclusive club with velvet ropes and security guards who looked like they could bench press trucks. The manager says the numbers don't match, her dispatcher replied coldly. You need to go verify the order. I've been on my feet for 14 hours, Carlos. Can't this wait until tomorrow? Not if you want to keep this contract. One more complaint and the company drop you. The call disconnected. Keisha stared at the club entrance, her ancient delivery van parked illegally at the curb. She'd delivered to Eclipse twice before. Strange vibes both times. Cash payments in unmarked envelopes. Staff who moved like soldiers instead of servers. The kind of establishment where you minded your business and didn't ask why the back rooms had reinforced doors. She'd just march in, show them the signed receipt from earlier, and prove she'd delivered exactly what they'd ordered. Her timestamp would confirm everything. Simple. Keisha pushed through the brass doors into luxury that smelled like expensive whiskey and designer perfume. The interior was all black marble and crimson lighting, with VIP sections separated by frosted glass. A hostess in a dress that cost more than Keisha's rent appeared, her smile sharp as a blade. We're closed for a private party. I delivered catering here 3 hours ago, Keisha interrupted. Someone's claiming I messed up the order and I need this sorted before I lose my contract. The hostess's polished expression cracked slightly. I'm not authorized to, room 7, Keisha said firmly, reading from her phone. That's where I dropped 6 cases of premium soju and imported beef. Someone signed for it, tipped me $200 cash. Now they're saying it never happened? Before the hostess could answer, a side door opened. A man emerged. Korean, late 30s, wearing a charcoal suit tailored so perfectly it looked painted on. He moved with the kind of confidence that came from never being told no. When he spoke, the hostess immediately stepped back. What's the issue? His English was flawless, his tone quiet but weighted with authority. This delivery woman claims she brought supplies to room 7, the hostess explained nervously. The man's eyes, obsidian dark and razor-focused, locked onto Keisha. We don't use room 7 for deliveries. That's literally what my system showed, Keisha countered, her exhaustion turning to frustration. She couldn't lose this gig. Look, I've got the receipt, the signature, everything. I delivered it, someone took it through a service entrance, handed me cash, and now I'm being accused of theft. Something dangerous flickered across the man's face. Describe this person who signed. I didn't see their face clearly, she admitted. They opened the door just enough to take the cases, gave me the cash and closed it. The lighting was terrible back there. The man pulled out his phone, typed something with frightening speed, then gestured to someone behind Keisha. She turned and realized 4 more men in dark suits had materialized, blocking every exit. Her pulse skyrocketed. Look, if there's been some mistake, I'll cover the cost myself, Keisha said, trying to keep her voice steady. Just don't blacklist me from deliveries. I need this job. You need to leave immediately, the man said, his voice gone ice cold. And forget you came here tonight. I can't just walk away from $300. No. The word was a command, not a suggestion. Keisha backed toward the door, the hostess already pushing it open. As she stumbled onto the sidewalk, she heard the man issuing rapid orders in Korean, his tone sharp with urgency. Keisha fumbled for her van keys, hands trembling. What kind of place was this really? She was unlocking the driver's door when she heard it. A crack that sounded almost like a firework. Then another. Except it wasn't July and fireworks didn't make the air smell like gunpowder. Keisha's instincts screamed at her before her brain could process. She dropped behind the van as a third shot rang out, the bullet slamming into the club's entrance exactly where she'd been standing. Glass shattered. Someone inside screamed. And Keisha's left side exploded with pain so intense she couldn't breathe. She'd been hit. Actually hit. The reality seemed impossible even as warmth spread across her ribs, soaking through her company polo. She tried to crawl away but her body wouldn't cooperate. Her vision started tunneling. The club's door burst open. The Korean man appeared, weapon drawn, scanning the street with military precision. His gaze found Keisha collapsed against her van, bleeding. "Get her inside now," he barked. Two men seized Keisha, carrying her through the destroyed entrance into the club. She wanted to resist, to scream, but the agony overwhelmed everything else. They laid her across a leather booth as the man, the one who'd ordered her to leave, pressed cloth against her side. "Who shot you?" he demanded, his face inches from hers. "Who hired you?" "Nobody hired me. I just deliver food." He cursed in Korean. "Delivery drivers don't take bullets." "I swear," Keisha gasped through the pain. "I was leaving and someone started shooting. I don't know anything." The man's jaw clenched. He said something harsh in Korean. One of his men responded urgently, holding out a phone. The man's expression went pale. He looked down at Keisha with something she couldn't identify. "You weren't the target," he said quietly. "What?" "The shooter was aiming for me. You bent down to unlock your van. Your head was exactly where mine would have been in the doorway." Keisha's brain couldn't process this. "You're saying I got shot instead of you? You saved me without knowing it." He looked at his men. "Bring the car around. We're taking her to Dr. Lim." "No hospitals." "No hospital?" Keisha choked out. "I can't afford not a public hospital," he cut in. "My physician." "You're not dying because you were in the wrong place at the wrong time. Who even are you?" "Someone you should never have encountered." Everything faded to black. Hours later, Keisha woke in a bedroom that belonged in a luxury magazine. Vaulted ceilings, designer furniture, massive windows showcasing the downtown LA skyline lit up like jewels. Her side was bandaged, her body dressed in silk pajamas she'd never seen before. The door opened. The man from the club entered, now wearing dark jeans and a fitted black shirt that somehow made him look more lethal than the expensive suit. "You're conscious." "Good." He sat in a nearby chair, studying her with those calculating eyes. "How's your pain level?" "Like I got shot," Keisha said through gritted teeth, "which I did. Because of you apparently. Technically because someone tried to assassinate me and you were collateral damage." He paused. "My name is Kang Jiwon and you need to understand something crucial. You're in serious danger now." "I didn't see the shooter," Keisha protested. "I don't know anything. I can forget all of this." "Doesn't matter," he replied. "The people who tried to kill me watched you get hit. They saw my men bring you inside, which means they believe you're connected to me. That makes you a target." Keisha's stomach dropped. "That's insane. I deliver food for a living." "You delivered food," Jiwon corrected. "Now you're the woman who accidentally saved a syndicate leader's life. There are at least 5 rival organizations who'd love to use you as leverage against me." "Wait, syndicate leader?" Jiwon's smile held no warmth. "You genuinely didn't know? Eclipse is a cover for my operations. I control most Korean organized crime along the West Coast. Import, export, money laundering, territorial enforcement. The standard portfolio." "Oh my God." His expression remained neutral. "The people who tried to kill me last night are Yakuza affiliated. They've been trying to muscle into my territory for half a year. Now they think I have a vulnerability. I'm not your vulnerability. I don't even know you." "They don't know that," he said calmly. "All they know is that I personally had an injured woman brought into my headquarters. That I'm keeping you here in my private residence under armed guard." He leaned forward. "In their eyes, you're either my woman or my informant. Either way, you're valuable and that makes you dead if they reach you." Tears stung Keisha's eyes. "This cannot be real." "Unfortunately, it is," Jiwon said, his voice softening slightly. "I accept responsibility for this situation. You saved my life, even accidentally. So I'm going to protect you until this situation resolves." "How long will that take?" "As long as necessary. I have a mother who depends on me. A life." "Your mother's medication has been paid for," he interrupted. 6 months in advance. Your van's been repaired. Your delivery contract informed you're taking medical leave. As for your life, he stood for now. This is it. I apologize, but you're safer here than anywhere else in the city. You can't just kidnap me. I'm not kidnapping you, he said. I'm protecting you. There's a difference. Is there really? He looked at her for a long moment. The bullet that hit you was a 7.62 round from a long-range rifle. Professional equipment, professional shooter. If you'd been 2 inches left, it would have pierced your heart and killed you immediately. These people don't miss. They don't hesitate and they don't care about your innocence. He walked to the door, then paused. This floor is yours. The entire penthouse is secured. Don't attempt to leave. My men have orders to stop you politely but absolutely. Dr. Lim will check your wound morning and evening. If you need anything, ask. I need to go home. That's the one thing I cannot provide, he said. Not yet. He left, the lock clicking behind him. Keisha sat in that expensive bed in that beautiful cage, wondering how delivering catering to a nightclub had turned into a living nightmare. Over the following week, Keisha learned several things. 1. Kang Jiwon wasn't exaggerating about the threat level. She'd overheard his men discussing 3 separate attempts to breach building security. All failed. All ended violently for the attackers. 2. Jiwon ran his criminal empire with brutal efficiency but maintained strict codes about civilian harm. She'd witnessed him verbally destroy one of his men for firing a weapon that could have endangered a bystander during a territorial dispute. 3. He was strangely attentive to her well-being. Fresh clothes appeared daily in perfect sizes. Meals arrived 3 times daily, restaurant-quality food that actually tasted good. Books, magazines, a laptop with limited internet access. He even had someone bring her favorite tea after she'd mentioned missing it once. For she was beginning to not despise him, which terrified her. On the 8th evening, Jiwon knocked before entering. First. We need to talk, he said. May I enter? The courtesy was almost absurd given that he controlled everything about her existence. Go ahead. He entered and Keisha noticed he looked exhausted. Shadows under his eyes. Tension in his shoulders. We've identified the Yakuza operative who coordinated the hit. His name is Takeshi Sato. He's been operating in California for 8 months, trying to destabilize my operations before launching a full territorial takeover. Why tell me this? Because he knows about you, Jiwon said. He has your photo, your full name, your mother's address, where you used to live. He sat down, suddenly looking less like a crime lord and more like someone carrying impossible weight. He's using you as bait. He wants me to move you, to transport you somewhere less fortified so his people can intercept and use you against me. But I don't mean anything to you, Keisha said. He doesn't know that, Jiwon replied. And truthfully, he met her eyes. That's becoming less accurate each day. Keisha's heart stuttered. What? You asked me once why I'm being so careful about your comfort, why I check on you every evening, why I personally ensure you have what you need. He paused. It's because you intrigue me. You took a bullet meant for me and your first concern was protecting your job. You're trapped here and instead of falling apart, you've read 10 books and reorganized the entire entertainment system by genre. You're kind to my staff even though they're essentially your guards. She interrupted him, experiencing Stockholm Syndrome. He smiled faintly. Perhaps. Or perhaps I'm realizing that the woman who accidentally saved my life is someone I want to understand better. This is completely insane. Probably, he agreed. You're a criminal, she said. And I should hate you. You absolutely should. He stood. But do you? Keisha thought about it. About this man who'd taken responsibility for her safety, who'd shown her more consideration in 8 days than most men had shown her in years, who was ruthless with enemies but gentle with her. I don't know what I feel, she admitted. Then let me know when you figure it out. He moved toward the door, then turned back. Tomorrow evening I'm meeting with the Yakuza for negotiations. They want to discuss territorial redistribution. I'm going to accept their terms. Why would you do that? Because it makes them back off, which means you're no longer valuable to them, which means you can leave. Return to your life. Safe. You'd surrender your territory for me? Some territory, not everything, but yes. His expression was unreadable. You saved my life, Keisha Thompson. The least I can do is return yours. He left, and Keisha sat there trying to understand why that felt less like liberation and more like loss. The next day, Dr. Lim came for the routine wound examination. But this time he stayed after finishing. Your wound is healing excellently, he said in accented English. You'll have scarring but no lasting damage. That's good news. Mr. Kang is making a catastrophic mistake, Dr. Lim said quietly. Negotiating with the Yakuza. Surrendering territory. All for you. I didn't ask him to. No, but you're the reason, he said. You must understand, in our world, weakness is fatal. The moment the Yakuza see he'll sacrifice power for a woman, they'll sense vulnerability. They'll push harder. Take more. Eventually take everything. What are you saying? I'm saying you need to choose, he said. Stay and accept what that means for both of you. Or leave and let him reclaim his position. But don't let him destroy himself trying to protect you while giving you freedom. That's the worst possible outcome. After he left, Keisha sat with that harsh truth. That evening, Jiwon came to her room wearing an impeccable suit. He looked every bit the powerful syndicate leader except for something in his eyes. Something sad. The meeting is in 90 minutes, he said. By morning you'll be free to leave. I'll have security escort you home, ensure your safety for the following weeks while everyone adjusts to the new territorial arrangements. Jiwon, I've also arranged compensation, he continued. $75,000 for your injury, lost income, trauma. It's inadequate, but it's something. I don't want your money. Then what do you want? Keisha stood, walked toward him. I want to know if what Dr. Lim said is true. If negotiating with the Yakuza makes you look vulnerable. If surrendering territory for me puts you in danger. Jiwon's jaw tightened. It's manageable. That's not an answer. He stared at her. It's the only answer you'll receive. Why sacrifice your position for me? Because you saved my life, he said, the words erupting from him. Because every woman I've known wanted something from me. Money, influence, protection, status. But you just wanted to keep your delivery contract. You walked into danger to protect your livelihood. You're genuine in a world of people wearing masks. And he stopped himself. You what? Keisha pressed. I care about you more than is wise, more than is safe, and I need you to leave before that caring destroys us both. Keisha made a decision she'd likely regret. She kissed him. It was brief, tentative, testing, and when she pulled away, Jiwon was staring at her like she'd just rewritten everything he understood. Don't go to that meeting, Keisha said. I must. No, you don't, she said. You said the Yakuza are using me as bait, that they want you to move me somewhere vulnerable so they can grab me. So don't give them what they expect. Use me as bait, but this time we control everything. Jiwon's eyes sharpened. What are you suggesting? I'm suggesting we give them exactly what they want. A vulnerable target. Me leaving your protection, going somewhere they can reach me. Except we see them coming and we finish this. That's insane. So is surrendering your territory for a delivery driver you've known for 8 days, she countered. He studied her face. You're serious? They tried to kill me. They've kept me prisoner, no offense. None taken. And they're threatening someone she hesitated, someone I'm starting to care about. So yes, I'm serious. Let's end this. Jiwon was quiet for a long moment. Then he smiled, actually smiled, real and genuine and devastating. You're extraordinary, he said. Absolutely extraordinary and absolutely insane. Is that a yes? That's a let me make arrangements. The plan was straightforward. Keisha would leave Jiwon's protection visibly and publicly. She'd return to her apartment, resume her routine, make herself an accessible target, except she'd be wired with audio and GPS tracking. Jiwon's elite team would shadow her from strategic distances. The moment the Yakuza made their move, Jiwon's people would close the trap. If anything goes wrong, Jiwon told her as she prepared to leave, if you feel threatened for even a moment, you say the word pineapple and my team extracts you immediately. Pineapple, she repeated. Random enough. Hard to say accidentally. You've done this before. Not with someone I care about, he said quietly. They moved her at sunrise, making a visible show of her departure. Keisha returning to her small apartment with security that obviously withdrew once she was inside. For 4 days nothing happened. Keisha went to job interviews, bought groceries, lived her life with the weight of invisible protection and the constant anticipation of when, not if, the Yakuza would strike. It happened on day 5. Keisha was walking back from the corner store when a black SUV pulled alongside her. 3 men emerged, moving with practiced speed. She barely had time to react before they had her, dragging her toward the vehicle. She didn't say pineapple. She fought. One of the men struck her across the face. Her vision whited out with pain. She was shoved into the SUV, doors slamming, vehicle accelerating away from the curb. You're Sato's insurance, one man said in broken English. Kang cares for you, so Kang will comply with our demands. They drove for 20 minutes, stopped at what appeared to be an abandoned warehouse in the industrial district, dragged Keisha inside, zip-tied her wrists to a metal chair. Takeshi Sato emerged from darkness. Older Japanese man, expensive suit, eyes like frozen steel. "Miss Thompson," he said with perfect pronunciation. "How considerate of you to make this simple. Go to hell." He smiled coldly. "I appreciate your spirit. It's why Kang values you, I think. You're different from the other women in his world. You're authentic, real. It would be unfortunate to harm you. Then don't." "Unfortunately, that decision belongs to Kang," he said. He pulled out his phone, began recording video. "You're going to tell him you're unharmed for now. But if he doesn't provide what we require, complete control of the port of Long Beach, 15 million in cash, and his withdrawal from 5 key territories, we'll kill you slowly and send him documentation." "He won't do it," Keisha said. "Yes, he will," Sato replied. "Because he's weak. Because he cares about you. And weakness, Miss Thompson, is the only leverage that matters in our world." The door exploded inward. Jiwon's team poured through, weapons raised. But they weren't alone. FBI agents came right behind them. Tactical gear, badges, federal agents shouting commands. Sato's face went ashen. "What is this?" "You've been played," Jiwon said, walking through the chaos like he orchestrated it. He wore a visible wire on his collar. "Everything you just said, recorded, admissible federal charges. Thank you for the confession." He looked at one of the FBI agents. "He's yours, Agent Park." As they handcuffed Sato, Jiwon knelt in front of Keisha, cutting her restraints with a knife. "Are you hurt? You brought federal agents?" "I brought a task force," he said. "The Yakuza have been on federal radar for years. I made an arrangement. I helped them dismantle Sato's entire operation. They give me immunity for testimony. Clean record. Fresh start." Keisha stared at him. "You're cooperating with the FBI?" "For you, yes," he said. "Because you were right. I can't continue living like this. Watching my back constantly, creating enemies, endangering people I care about. So I'm done. Retiring, giving the FBI everything they need to dismantle major criminal operations along the coast, including mine, especially mine." He looked at her intently. "I'm finished, Keisha. No more syndicate leader. Just me. If you'll accept that." Keisha looked at this man who'd sacrificed everything, power, money, respect in the criminal world for a clean slate for her. "You're completely insane," she said. "Probably. I'm a delivery driver who got shot by accident and somehow ended up taking down organized crime." He said. "You're remarkable." He cupped her face gently. "And I love you. I know it's too soon. I know it's insane, but I love you. And if you give me a chance, I'll spend the rest of my life being worthy of that accidental bullet you took from me." Keisha thought about her old life, minimum wage jobs, constant struggle, empty apartment. Then she thought about this man who'd protected her, sacrificed everything for her. "I'm going to regret this," she said. "But I love you too, you infuriating, impossible man." He kissed her right there in that warehouse, surrounded by federal agents and tactical teams and the wreckage of his former life. And Keisha thought that maybe, just maybe, getting shot was the best thing that ever happened to her. 8 months later, Keisha stood in front of a brand new catering company office, bright and modern, with Thompson's Premium Catering on the glass door in elegant letters. Jiwon stood beside her, no longer looking like a crime lord. Just a man in casual clothes helping her build a dream. "You're certain about this?" he asked. "Catering is competitive," says the former syndicate leader, she teased. He laughed. "Fair point. Besides," she continued, "I have an investor who believes in me and excellent business insurance thanks to the federal witness protection settlement." Jiwon grinned. "Best investment I ever made. Even though you had to give up your entire criminal empire?" "Especially because of that," he said. "Turns out legitimate business is more profitable when you're not constantly avoiding bullets and federal investigations." His consulting firm, completely legitimate, helping businesses navigate international logistics, was thriving. Keisha's catering company was about to launch. They lived in a comfortable house in Pasadena, far from the penthouse and the danger and the life they'd left behind. It was everything. Keisha's phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. "Congratulations on the new venture. Looking forward to sampling your services, Sato." Her blood froze. "Jiwon." He read the text, his expression darkening. Then he made a call, spoke rapid Korean, listened and disconnected. "Sato made bail 4 days ago," he said quietly. "The FBI was supposed to notify me immediately. They didn't. He knows where we are. Yes. What do we do? Jiwon looked at her and she saw the old syndicate leader flicker behind his eyes. Dangerous, protective, lethal. We have two options, he said. We run. New city, new identities, new lives. The FBI can arrange everything. Or, he said, or we stay and I contact certain people I used to know. People who owe me favors. And we ensure Sato understands that just because I left the life doesn't mean I'm helpless. That's not exactly legal. Oh, he agreed. But it's effective. Keisha thought about running, about starting over again in another place, always looking over their shoulders. Make the calls, she said. He studied her. You're certain? I'm certain. I took a bullet for you once by accident. I'll stand with you on purpose this time. He smiled, that beautiful, dangerous smile that had made her fall in love with him. Then let's remind Sato why you don't threaten a syndicate leader's woman, even a retired one. As Jiwon made his calls, Keisha looked at her new office, at the life they'd built, at the future they were protecting. 8 months ago she'd been a delivery driver just trying to survive. Now she was the woman who'd accidentally saved a crime lord's life, helped dismantle a criminal organization, and started a business with her former syndicate leader partner. Not bad for someone who just wanted to keep her contract. The next week, Sato's body was discovered in the LA River. Official cause of death was listed as accidental drowning. The unofficial word on the street was that he'd received a final reminder about the price of threatening Kang Jiwon's family. The FBI investigated, found nothing connecting it to anyone. The case went cold. Ann Thompson's premium catering opened to outstanding reviews, becoming one of the most sought-after catering companies in the city. Partly for the exceptional food. Partly for the rumors about who really backed it. 3 years later, Keisha and Jiwon got married. Intimate ceremony, close friends only. Half the guests were FBI agents who'd worked their case. The other half were former associates of Jiwon who'd gone legitimate. Who would have predicted, Keisha said during their first dance, that a disputed catering invoice would lead to this? It wasn't a dispute, Jiwon said. It was fate. I just didn't recognize it yet. You're such a romantic, she teased. Only for you. She laughed and kissed him, this impossible man who'd transformed her entire existence. All because she'd been standing in the wrong place at the wrong time. Or maybe, just maybe, it had been exactly the right place at exactly the right time. Sometimes the universe positions you exactly where you need to be, even if it takes a bullet to get you there. The end. Final thoughts. Sometimes the most dangerous moments lead to the most beautiful destinations. And sometimes love finds you when you least expect it, right in the crossfire. If you enjoyed this story, let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching, beautiful people. See you in the next one.